The European Tour has been down under at Lake Karrinyup in Western Australia for the second edition of the ISPS Handa Perth International. The tournament attracted a world-class field again, headed by defending champion Bo Van Pelt. The easygoing American played some wonderful golf 12 months ago to beat Jason Duffner to the title, and on his return was delighted to reacquaint himself with some familiar faces, with a course he loves, in a place where he says he feels very much at home.
I live in a great state in Oklahoma where people are very friendly, and grew up in a small town in Indiana, same thing, very friendly Midwestern folks, and that's the feeling you get when you come to Australia. And obviously come back to a course you play well and had a win, you're excited to come back. You know, I've had a little bit of a break, and so it's good to come back to a place you got some good memories.
His final day shootout with Duffner last year went down to the final hole. When Duffner missed for birdie, Van Pelt had the luxury of 2 putts for the title, but he took just 1 to record a 2-shot victory in what was the first edition of the ISPS Handa Perth International.
I knew it was going to be a tough day, and I just remember both of us played pretty solid, and you know, I hit a couple good shots coming down the stretch, and I think the one I remember the most is I made a pretty sloppy bogey on 17 to make it a little interesting on 18, and you know, was fortunate enough to come out on top.
Van Pelt has enjoyed his travelling and the new challenges that competing abroad has given him. He's won in Malaysia as well as Australia now, and at 38 wants to make sure he makes the most of opportunities whilst he's still competing at the very highest level.
You know, one of these days it's going to be over. You know, I'm not going to get to play professional golf anymore, and you know, I don't do it a ton, but I want to take advantage of opportunities to get to see other parts of the world, for one, and two, I think it's a good challenge for your golf game. You know, can you go play on other grasses and other time zones and kind of get out of your comfort zone, and on top of that, you get to see a bunch of beautiful places and play a great game, so it's a win-win.
After a successful 2012 campaign on the PGA Tour, Van Pelt's found 2013 more of a struggle. An injury at a crucial stage of the season didn't help, and Perth sees him returning to action after a 6-week layoff.
This summer had a kind of lingering thing with my right leg. You know, my Achilles tendon, it kind of started at the British Open, and then got into my hip at the USPGA, so it was kind of a bummer. You know, it's kind of the meat of our schedule right before the FedEx Cup, and just never really felt 100%. It was just, you know, I didn't have any tears or anything serious. It was frustrating because I think as an athlete, you never want to put any credence to it. When you're not feeling good, you think you can just kind of power through it, but you know, my game, I just wasn't as consistent, and you know, I think it just kind of eventually came to a head this summer to where I realized what was really going on.
The enforced break could have a silver lining for Bo, with the PGA Tour's new October to September wraparound season starting this year. Bo's well rested as he chases early success in the events that'll be played in late 2013, but count towards the 2014 FedEx Cup.
It's exciting. I think it's good. You know, it's a clean format for us. You know, when the Tour Championship and the FedEx Cup gets awarded, that's the end of our year, which I think is important. And then I think for, you know, the fall tournaments that we have to be part of the FedEx Cup schedule is exciting for them, and I think that you'll see a lot of great golf in the fall, and some big names playing those tournaments.
And with the 2014 season already underway, Van Pelt believes the PGA Tour is deeper and more talented than ever. Over the last few years, a new generation of young players have emerged across the world who arrive on tour ready to win and appear to fear no one when it comes to closing out tournaments on Sunday.
You're going to start seeing more and more guys come out at 19, 20, 21 years old that play golf like a 10-year veteran used to play, you know, 10 or 15 years ago. And I think it's just the evolution of the game. As the game's gotten bigger, the access to technology, the access to coaching, as that's grown, kids are just going to be better, and there's more great players playing now than I've ever played, and in 10 years there's going to be more great players than there are now, and I think that's just the reality of the situation, and I'd argue with anybody that says it's any different than that.